So today I was requested to give some talk on the Sima matter and maybe some question answers. So I will give you the information of the Sima and answer the questions within my knowledge. So the Buddha's enlightened after fulfilling the parami for a very, very long time. After enlightenment, the Buddha stayed the Satta Sattaha with the Vimoti Sukha. After that, he first gave the first summon Dhammacakkappavattana to the 5 Pancavaggiya. Then, by saying Ehi Bhikkhu, all Pancavaggiya became bhikkhus. This is the first 5 bhikkhus in our Buddha Sasana. After that, another 55 bhikkhus led by Yassa and other 5 gentlemen. So there are 55 bhikkhus. Also Buddha say Ehi Bhikkhu. That means Buddha called Ehi Bhikkhus to them. Then all 55 gentlemen became bhikkhus. So in Sasana at that time, altogether about 60 bhikkhus existed. How did they become bhikkhu? Just by calling Ehi Bhikkhu. Then the Dhamma Dutta of the Sasana, that means the propagating the Dhamma started throughout many places. Then the Buddha allowed or instructed those bhikkhus to ordain others by means of taking sarana gamana. That means tisarana. So at that time, if someone wants to ordain, then they undertake tisarana gamana. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. By reciting or taking this tisarana gamana, they became bhikkhus. So there are 8 types of ordaining to be a bhikkhu. So the first type is calling Ehi Bhikkhu. The second is Saranagamana, taking Saranagamana. And the third is acknowledging the order. The fourth is answering the questions, that's question and answer. The fifth is taking 8 Guru Dhamma. The sixth is by sending the mission. The seventh is by recitation of 8 times of Kamavacha. And the number 8 is the 4 times of Kamavacha, including the Nyati. Nyati means the first paragraph of the Kamavacha, Suna, Tume, Bhante, etc. Okay? So there are 8 types of ordaining bhikkhus. But the Atta Guru Dhamma, taking the 8 Guru Dhamma and descending the mission to Tena Upasampada and reciting Kamavacha 8 times, it's are for bhikkhunis only. So, and the rest of other 4 also has no more existing, since the Buddha has already gone to the Parinibbana. So there are only one type of ordination, that is Nyati Charuta Kamupa Sampada. So by only reciting Kamavacha, we can ordain bhikkhus nowadays. So to ordain a bhikkhu and to make a recitation of Kamavacha, we must have a Sima. Without Sima, we cannot ordain, and no bhikkhu can be existing in this nowadays, in this time. So the Sima is very, very important to have more ancestors for the sasana, to ordain a bhikkhu. That's why we are making a Sima. And the Buddha also has allowed to make a Sima. Anujanami bhikkhue Siman samanitong. Bhikkhus set up the Simas. So Buddha's allowed to extend or to propagate his sasana, to have more bhikkhus. So this way, we need Sima. That's why we make Sima. So that's why Sima is important. Any questions?
Bhante, maybe Bhante can explain to us what is the process of setting up a Sima, or what are the considerations in selecting a place for Sima, for example.
The process of the Sima, the Buddha is allowed to set a Sima, but the place where we are going to set a Sima should not have another Sima. So we cannot set a new Sima on the old Sima. That's why, since the Buddha Sasana has already very, very long time ago, more than 2,560 years ago. So during such a years, such a long time, there can be many old Simas, especially in the area where the Buddha Sasana has developed before. That's why, to set a new Sima, there should not have old Sima, so we must make a removal of the old Sima first. But you can ask, how can we remove without knowing where's the old Sima? That's a question. That's a problem with us. So without removing Sima, someone say, since we don't know the old Sima, how can we remove the old Sima? So we should not do that, but just set up the new Sima. But since the Buddha said we cannot set up new Sima on the old Sima, so we can still have doubt. That's why we make it sure that in the area that we have selected to make a Sima, there should not have old Sima. That's why we make the removal of the old Sima first. And since we don't know which part of our new Sima, proposed Sima area, there are old Sima. So we make a removal everywhere, so that we can catch the old Sima in case it's existing underneath. Okay? That's why we do maybe, and we selected an area for our proposed Sima. Then, to make sure, we make a removal more than that area. Okay? Because there can be many other issues because the Sima shape can be in any shape. That means it depends on the nimitta stones. Nimitta, we call it nimitta. Maybe there are 8 types of nimitta. I will have to explain what is 8 types of nimitta first. Okay? A Buddha is allowed to, because nimitta means marker. Okay? With this marker, within these markers, we make a Simā. Within this marker, the area became Simā. So we need nimitta. But we cannot just make any type of nimitta. Only the 8 nimitta, which are allowed by the Buddha. So there are 8 nimittas, maybe stone nimitta, tree nimitta, mountain nimitta, road nimitta, river nimitta, and the termite nest or ant nest nimitta, water nimitta. What's the last one? One bone, only 8, no? Rock, stone, trees, mountain, river, water, road, and nest. I forgotten. Tell me already. Rock, water, mountain, tree, road, river, and nest. Forest. Forest. I could mix with the trees and forest. Yeah, tree also, forest also. So Buddha has allowed these 18 nimittas. So I think in ancient time, when they settled the Simā, they just mark. Okay, in the east, the tree is a nimitta. Okay, then in the southeast, this is a mountain. And the west, this is a forest. Okay, something like that. So whatever existing nimitta they use. So Sima shape can be, Sima area became between 2 nimittas, a straight line. Okay, so for example, there are 4 nimittas, mountain, trees, maybe forest, and the termites ants nest. Then these 4 may existing not in a square way, square shape. So maybe in any shape. Okay. So the nimitta can be 8 points, but at least there should have 3 nimittas. We cannot set a Sima with 2 nimittas. There should be at least 3 nimittas. So if we use 3 nimittas, how should be the shape? Triangle. Okay. So Sima shape can be I just want to make a small drawing to explain more. So, Sima shape can be maybe like this, because here maybe 1 nimitta, here maybe 3 nimittas, forest, and nest or stone nimitta. So the area became drawing a straight line between those nimittas. So if you have only 3 nimittas, then it will become like this. Okay? So since while setting new Sima, there should not have old Sima. For example, now we select this area to make a Sima. We make a stone. Eight stones. So we make a remover to make sure nearby area also. So why we are removing Sima? We have intention to remove the old Sima where we are sitting. So, for example, if there is a Sima with a triangle like this, so here has very narrow part. Why we are removing? We must, because all Sima, 2 Sima cannot be touched. 2 Sima cannot be overlapped. If touching and overlapping, then new Sima is not valid. That's why we make sure there's no Sima around. So, but sometimes all Sima can be just touching the new area of our Sima. That's why if just touching, if we only remove in this area, then this old triangle Sima will not be removed because we cannot sit, we don't sit inside this Sima. To remove Sima, we must sit at least 4 bhikkhus here and recite the Kamavacha. So here we cannot sit because it's just touching. That's why we make more extra remover outside so that we can catch this Sima at least 4 bhikkhus. In case this Sima is just around here, then we are removing this area, then this is outside. So we don't need to worry about that. Only just such a small Sima touching to our area. So by making an extra removing, then we also remove this. That's why last night we make a extra remover outside. Okay, that's just for example. And what else? So how to select the Sima area is we must select the place where there's no electric line go through or water pipe or any connections that we cannot remove. If there's an electric line, electric wire, then if we can remove electric wire, it's also okay. We can use this place to be a Sima. Because Sima and Sima cannot be connected by any connections. If connected, then if there are another bhikkhus in another Sima, then we are making, because if two Sima are connected, and if we make some karma here, then this is we are making on the Dvisimata, staying on the 2 Simas, making karma on 2 Simas. So it's not it's invalid because there are another bhikkhus. So this bhikkhu is outside our 2 hand and husbands. So the best place to make a Sima is the open area where there is no electric line, no water line going through this area.
Minimum how many mandates need to chant? 4.
Minimum 4. Yeah, minimum 4. Minimum 4 bhikkhus must chant. Yeah.
Bhante, is there minimum or maximum size for the Sima?
Minimum size is the area where 21 bhikkhus can sit comfortably. Yeah. If 21 bhikkhu cannot sit, smaller than the area where the 21 bhikkhu can sit, it's not valid, invalid. So you can test how many you count, which size. Huh? Maybe this size is about this size. Even if you can sit closely, it can be 21 bhikkhus. Yeah, but I think not like in Singapore. Other places may have enough space, bigger than that. So we believe usually not many people will do small Sima like this one. Huh?
This is the smallest Sima Bhante seen.
I think the smallest, more or less the same like the one we did in Indonesia, in Tangerang. We also did a very small one because of conditions, very small area. I think which one's small? Maybe this one's maybe smaller, the Indonesia one. Don't worry, you are not the smallest. Okay.
Any specific date to set up the Sima?
Date?
Date selection?
Oh, no fix. Yeah, no special date, any day. The bigger size. Huh? The bigger size is not more than 3 yojana. 3 yojana. 1 yojana is, if counted nowadays, about 9 miles or 10 miles. So not bigger than, say, if we take 9 miles, 27 miles, not bigger than that. So, because during the Buddha's time, Rajagaha in India, this is a big city. So at that time, the whole city was set as a Sima. So every Upasana day, all the bhikkhus in the whole city must come into one place. That's why, since the whole city is the Sima, all the families are stay there in the Sima. That's why this morning someone asked me whether is it possible that they go into the Sima or not. I said okay, because even Buddha's time in Rajagaha, all stay in the Sima. So at that time, when every Upasana day, they must gather at one place. So later, there's some difficulty where should they gather. So the Buddha has allowed Upasana Kara. That means an Upasana house. So in the Sima, we can make a house, something like a building, to gather all the bhikkhus on Upasana day or any karma, to do any karma. So that's a smaller size and the bigger size. Any size you can do.
Why the old and new Sima not?
Yeah, Buddha does not allow the unsuccessful Simas. There are 11 types of unsuccessful Simas. So one of the factor is not to touch 2 Simas, and also cannot be overlapped, because in each Sima there can be a bhikkhu's karma in each Sima. So That means when we are doing any karma, okay, Buddha has allowed to make a karma if we are in unity. If bhikkhus are in unity, then what does the unity means? What does it say unity means? Unity means all bhikkhus stay together within 2.5 hatha pasa. That means about 3 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet. If we sit together, if we stay together, that means it's unity, at least bodily, even though you don't like or you don't want to buy. If bodily united, then that's counted as unity. So, like now you are staying together within about 2.5 hatha pasa. If someone say, okay, we will do this. If you agree, you keep silent. If you don't agree, please speak out. Then it's no one speak out and keep silent. Then that means all agree. If someone away outside the 2.5 hatha pasa, even though he doesn't say anything, but he's not bodily united. So we cannot count our decision is agreed by all. Okay? So, but if he is outside the Sima, no problem, because he is not coming in the Sima, even though he is away. But within Sima, everyone come together, bodily united within hatha pasa, then this is a unity. So if two Simas are touching each other, okay, then even though we are doing this gathering in one Sima, but since two Sima becomes like a one Sima, so another group is away from our hatha pasa. That means we are not united. That's why two Sima cannot be connected.
During the setting up of Sima, the bhikkhus chant the karma vacha 2 times. But they roughly, what are the meaning? What is the meaning?
Setting up? Okay. Setting up, the meaning in brief is, all the bhikkhus listen to me. Now we have already announced, or there's one special word for nimitta kirtana. We call in Pali is nimitta kirtana. For example, making known that these stones are markers for the Sima. Okay, in the east is stone, in the southeast is stone, in the southwest is stone, in the west stone. So that's the question answer. So we make it known to all sanghas and other people. So yeah, this question and answer is also very important to make a Sima. So your involvement is also an important role. So by asking question and answer, at that time we ask, one bhikkhu go and ask, what is the nimitta in this direction? Then you say, what do you say? Pasano Bhante. Pasana is stone. So you answer the stone. Stone is the nimitta. So the bhikkhu confirm this stone is the nimitta. Then you answer Ama Bhante, yes Venerable. So we make a question and answer, make sure this is the nimitta for the marker for the Sima. So when during Kamavacha we say we have already announced the nimitta stones. So with this nimitta stones we are making Sima. So if Venerable all agree, we are, and if there's a appropriate and suitable time, we are set at the Sima. This is Nyati, we call it Nyati, the first paragraph. Then after that, then the Venerable Sangha, we have already announced the nimittas. So the Bhikkhu Sangha has set up this area within this nimittas as a Sima. So if all the Venerable agree this, keep silent, remain silent. Then, because our bhikkhus or sanghas are silent, so this Sima, we regard this as the Sima. So This is a meaning of our recitation of Kamavacha. Yeah, we recited two times. Or you means what are these two? Or not two times, two Kamavacha, yes. Because the first Kamavacha is Samana Samvasa. Samana Samvasa means stay together. That, as I explained you, those who stay in this Sima within Hatapasa is united. That means, so whatever we have to do karma, upasata or ordination, then we all gather together. For example, we had 20 bhikkhus, but 10 bhikkhus come into the Sima and stay together. And we can do Sima. But no? This is Samana Samvasa Sima. Then second one is Avipas Vasa. Avipas Vasa is because we have Tijivara. According to the Vinaya rules, we must have Tijivara. And every time we must take care of our sleeves, our robes, so that we don't live away. Okay? So if we stay in the Sima, we are allowed to be freedom from taking care of our robes, to be within 2.5 handspans. For example, we have a big Sima, we can put at one corner our robes, and we can stay in another corner, or we can meditate, no problem. So this is a Buddha allowed to be free from the taking care of our Tijivara within Sima. Yeah,
in the Sima, what are some of the things that laymen should not do once we are in the Sima?
Once you are in Sima,
Any things that the lay should not do, which is not respectful to the Sima?
no special, but like in any other places, you should not do any akusala deeds. But you cannot approach to the bhikkhu gathering more than you must be outside 2.5 hatapasa. Laymen should be away from the bhikkhu's gathering and 2.5 hatapasa. That means about 3 feet. If you approach near then that distance, then our karma is not successful. That's why last night when we are removing Sima, some of the photographers go around. So sometimes we worry that they so that we prohibit them to be away. Any questions?
What's the benefit for the lay people to support this Sima?
Since I have explained you, without Sima, there cannot be a bhikkhu ordination. If there's no bhikkhu's ancestors, no more bhikkhus in future, then the sasana cannot be existing. Because the Vinaya is the vital of the sasana. Vinaya is the life of the sasana. So the Vinaya exists only in bhikkhus and in the sangha. So the Sima, without Sima, there's no bhikkhu. No future bhikkhus. Then if there's no future bhikkhus, then no one to practice this, no one to practice or to maintain this Vinaya sasana. So the Sima is like the mother of the sasana, Vinaya sasana. Okay.
How many stories can you allow to see the Sima?
Sorry?
How many stories?
Oh, can be many stories. Many stories. But we have two types of Sima. One is that we set a Sima on the ground. Okay? If we set it on the ground, then from the ground to the building or story, we can use as a Sima. But if we set up the Sima only on the first floor or second floor or third floor, then Sima can exist only on this particular floor. This we call it Pasada Sima or Sky Sima. And yeah, I would like to share with you how many types of Sima. And in general, there are two types of Sima. We call it, one is Abada Sima, and another one is Bada Sima. Abada means the automatic Sima that we don't need to set up. So automatic Sima means a natural Sima. It's this a type of Sima once bhikkhus gather together at one place to make some karma. Karma means like upasata or katina or something. Then that place became automatically Sima. So which type of Sima like this? We call it karma Sima. And these natural Simas are also two types. Three types. No? Karma Sima, Udaka Kepa, Vata Sima, and Satta Bandra. This is a forest Sima. So Karma Sima means if there's one village where the government take the tax from that one place, there's one head, something like that, and also divided. It depends on the countries to countries. That's the regulation. So usually one head of the village, and that village head of the village take tax from this area. So this is called one karma. So within this karma, if there's there may be many bhikkhus, but all bhikkhus gather in one place together within this village, then the whole village became automatically a Sima. But if one bhikkhu is away, then that karma is not successful. Okay? So some villages will be very small, the area will be very small, and maybe very few bhikkhus and easy to gather. But if the village is very big and many monasteries, then not easy to gather together. That's why Buddha is allowed to set up a Sima. This setting up Sima is called Bada Sima. Bada means like tying or tie. Okay? So we make a tie this area to become Sima. So this is Karma Sima, village Sima. And another one is Vata Sima. Vata Sima means pond, natural river, ocean. Those areas are, if we gather, at least 4 bhikkhus gather in the pond, then, and with the intention to do a karma, then this pond become automatic Sima within the boundary of the distance where you can throw the water or sand. Within the reach of the water and sand, and normal people can normally throw. Understand? You take sand and you sprinkle, then when the sand reach this area, round area become automatic Sima. That's Vata Sima. So Vata Sima can be in the natural pond, natural lake, and in the river or in the ocean. but you have to go down into the water. Or unless you can make a boat or some wrap or something in the water. Or if you can make a building also, okay, without connecting to the bank. Another thing is, although, for example, in the sea, during the rainy, if there's a stream, something like a small river, then in the hot season, there may not have water. But during the 4 months of rainy seasons, if there's always water existing up to the depth of where it mentioned in the bhikkhunis wearing the lower robe. If it get wet, the bhikkhu's lower robe, then this is enough depth of the water. So if there's water this much the whole throughout the 4 months of rainy season, then another time in the dry season, although there's no water, we can use this as a natural water Sima. So we don't need to make any boat or something. Okay. So this is water Sima, and another one is Satta Bandra. Satta Bandra means in the forest where there's no owner, there's a natural forest, and if in such a forest, at least 4 bhikkhus go and gather together to do a uposatha or something, then within Satta Bandra means about Satta Bandra means 712 Hatapasa. That means 84 Hatapasa. That means almost, yeah, this much. So in feet, maybe about 98 something. You need to count. So within this area, become automatic forest Sima. So we don't need to set a Sima if we have such a place. So this is we call Abhadda Sima. Okay, so Bhadda Sima is the Sima that we set up. So there are 2 types of Simas.
Both types of Sima can be used to ordain higher beings.
Yes. Since all Sima can use for the ordination.
Something mentioned about the dry season. It's not there. So it applies to the beach.
Yes.
Low tide, high tide. So the low tide time, the area of the sand can also be considered.
No, during 4 months of rainy season, this place must be covered by water always. So if there's always low tide and high tide, it doesn't mean it's always covered with the water. We need to be sure where all is water.
But once we set up a Sima, how long will this Sima last?
The life of the Sima.
Yes.
It lasts until the end of Buddha Sasana. So, as long as you can propagate Buddha Sasana, they never end. That's how Dhamma do it. Phát được vào buổi đó, đây mà khai mạo được.
Five Bhante is needed to form a Sangha. So to set up a Sima, how many Bhantes are needed?
At least 4. At least 4. Yeah, for ordination we must have 5 bhikkhus. But for Sima setting, at least 4 bhikkhus.
And the Sima setting, is it special to the Patao tradition, or it's also practiced in Theravada countries, like Sri Lanka, Thailand, and so on?
Yeah, for all traditions. Not only for it's all Sangha or the Buddha Sasana. So
all the shape, all square shape, any strange shape that you ever did?
sorry again.
Different shapes, maybe square. They don't do it.
ရှားချိန်တော့ရှားပုံတွေတွေ့ဘူးလား Oh, we have only have done Sima shape, square, rectangle, octagon. That's all. No other. Oh, okay. Last trip in America. This is not really square, but because we use the natural tree, since we cannot dig, we make a in the Chicago University, because it will be complicated if we dig the ground and put the big stones. Then there will have a lot of process to have a permission. So with some professors, we just set up the Sima with the natural trees. So we search in the boundary, in the compound, and we find 4 trees nicely growing in the 4 directions, but not very really square, but maybe like not what you call 90 degrees square. So we are luckily we found this place. So that means it's out of its shape. Okay, good question. Yeah, good question. Once we have set a Sima, although we lost the boundary, the Sima remain there. Sima stay alive. But why we keep the Sima markers? In future, after many years, we may not know where's our Sima. So we make a mark. So that's why it's not really need to remain the Sima marker like these stones, but you can replace with other things also, whatever is significant or can last long. But why we choose the big stones and keep it? Because it can last for very long, and also to avoid stop in future. If we replace with other, maybe like iron bowl, iron stick or something, in the future someone will get doubt. Or the Sima marker is a iron rock or something in future. That's why we remain the stones. So if trees fall down, then we can replace with other mark, if we can, or otherwise just leave it, but Sima stay alive.
Sorry, is it okay Bhante we have the parita chanting and the offering after lunch? Because I think
Okay. Okay.
Today I just asked them, because we have been doing very interesting topics, so that those of you, if you can stay after lunch, so we do the offering and the parita chanting after lunch, so that otherwise we don't have enough time to do that.
Okay, let's close. So share merits, no? Idam me punyam, asavakya, wahan hotu. Idam me punyam, nibbanasa, pachayo, hotu. Mama punya bagam, sabba sadanam, bhajemi, te sabbe, me samam, punya bagam, labantu, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.